Alright. Hey guys, Kira8428 is back with new video content for your eyeballs. I have decided that I would draw my Terraria character today in all of her wonderful eyeball glory, because I has many pets, but we can get to that later. I mostly decided to draw this since I recently got back into full-on gaming mode, although ironically it's mostly been for Civilization and not Terraria, although I have been playing Terraria with the boys since it's the new update, the last update. Big sad, but also big hype. We'll be fighting new bosses and stuff, and I am excited. But to commemorate that, we have Moi, who I'm assuming is basically some sort of demon eyeball salesman, because I just realized how many I draw. Because I had the optic staff, which gives you the twins, and then on the altar you can get more twins, and so we have the quadruplets. And the companion cube, my boy, who is stabby, and we love that about them. I mean, no, what am I talking about? They won't stab you in the dark. But yes, these are my children. I love them deeply. I also have Lantern Friend with the candle on his head, but unfortunately, drawing him would have broken the color scheme, and for another, he would not. I didn't know where to put him, and I feel bad. I might draw him on his own now. So, that's been my life mostly. Terraria and Civ. Although I recently, because Civ was free, hence why I got it, because I don't have $60, I don't know about you. But also GTA 5 was free a while ago. I don't know if it still is. But, got GTA 5, plan on playing that, I guess. Although, personally, I've always been more of a Saints Row fan myself. Mainly because their map was better. That's the whole reason that I like them more. Because Saints Row is, I think, one of the first games that I saw replay value in, because when I was young, I hated replaying games. I hated it so much. Like, the first game that I saw replay value in was Diablo, and that's just because there was more after the game, and I'm like, I need to make these numbers larger. And then I was hooked, and now I'm at Paragon 400. I don't even remember. I haven't been playing Diablo much. I've mostly been playing Hearthstone. I feel like I mentioned this in another video, I'm not sure. But, I freaking love Hearthstone. It's one of those games where, I don't know. I take pride in the fact that I have not spent money on it, even though I want to spend money on it. The only reason I haven't is because I'm poor, and I have very little impulse control when it comes to cards. I know this especially because of my Yu-Gi-Oh card addiction that has only recently died down, because again, I am poor. Seriously, I followed Yu-Gi-Oh since GX, which I mentioned before is my favorite anime, for purely sentimental reasons. It's not a good show, but it is a good show. And the problem, though, with me and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that I've managed to watch the strangest part. I watched Duel Monsters forever ago, to the point where I only remember the stuff from the abridged version. I watched GX. I've watched GX multiple times, specifically season 3 and 4, because I have a problem. But after that, I haven't watched 5Ds. I don't know why I haven't watched 5Ds, even though it's apparently the best part of Yu-Gi-Oh! But I haven't. I skipped over 5Ds and Zexal. But, I skipped over those two. And then I watched Arc 5, which, it was so good. At least because that was the first version where I watched the subbed first instead of the dub. It was surprisingly really, really good until those last few episodes where everything was rushed, and now I'm disappointed in everyone and everything. But it's fine. Yuri was great while he lasted. I frickin' loved the Predaplants. I should draw Yuri. But that sounds I just realized how that is out of context. But you know what? It's fine. Ah, gosh, man. Although speaking of, I don't know. The fandoms have ruined many things, but they've also made some good art, so I don't know where I'm going with this anyway. Incriminating words aside, I've been greatly enjoying, though, I greatly enjoy collecting things. Mainly cards, hence why Hearthstone is in my life now. But, although, I used to play Pokemon, like, not just the game, but also the trading card game. I used to actually know how to play it. I was one of those rare people who knew what the fuck any of the cards meant. It's a very simple game. Like, going back to Pokemon after playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For a long time, I realized just how simple the Pokemon trading card game actually is, and how, as long as you just buy really good cards, you'll win. Yeah, no, like that. Magic the Gathering was the card game that I never got into, mostly because I played Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot. I don't know if you heard our sync, but our sync makes noise now. Yeah, no, I've loved trading card games forever, but Pokemon was just always one of those, like, really, really simple card games. Magic was a lot more intimidating, and because I was already playing one really, really complicated card game, I never got into it. Like, I hear it's really good, and it probably is because my card shop always only has the giant tubs of Magic the Gathering cards, and they never have Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Like, Movie Trading Company, one of my favorite stores. I used to go there all the time before, shit happened. But whenever I would go there, they would always have these, like, card bricks, and it's basically people turned in a whole bunch of cards, they put them into these bricks, they were like $5. It was great. But the problem is, like, you would have tons and tons of these bins with these Magic the Gathering bricks, and, like, you would go to this shelf, and this shelf would be where they would have, like, just a few, like, they tended to have Pokemon trading cards. Occasionally, they wouldn't have many, but then only like 1 in 5 times would you have Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards there, and it hurt my poor, poor soul. Like, what do I do then? Like, I want my cheap random brick of cards that were probably, like, not even close to the meta, but still, give me my cheap bricks. I demand bricks. No. Yeah. That's how I got most of the cards in my card collection. It was a good time. I don't know how many I have. I have basically a binder full. It's very heavy. Honestly, it could be classified as its own weapon. Although I swear to God, I feel like cards appear in that thing that I've never seen in my life before. I don't know if it's ghosts, if I have a secret dual spirit or something, in which case, why am I not going on some weird magical adventure to save the universe with the power of trading cards? I don't know. Yeah, that's always just been an amazing concept to me, though, about that frickin' game, and about that whole Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe in general. The world was saved by trading cards. Like, not even just, like, in the show. It is canon that Seto Kaiba's company and the trading cards that they made ended wars. Wars were stopped because of trading cards. This is clearly we should not have conflicts that we have currently. The United States should scrap its entire military and focus on making dual discs and holograms, and then we should fight other countries with trading card games. I think that's the America I want to live in. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is fucking absurd, man. Like, God. Although, if we're going to be on the subject of absurd things, I've been trying to watch more very strange animes and things, because, before, I want to say One Punch Man was a thing, I watched a lot of, like, the big animes, like, I finished all of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. I even finished GT. I don't remember anything about it, so, you know. I even watched Kai, which was a moment, as well as the latest one, Dragon Ball Super, which Zamasu is bae, but yeah, no, I tended to watch a lot of like the big name animes. One Punch Man is one of those, but it kind of sent me down the rabbit hole of more niche things, because then from there I watched Mob Psycho, and Mob Psycho is amazing. I want more. Yeah, no, Mob Psycho's great. If you haven't seen it, I would suggest watching it if you liked One Punch Man. The art style is similar, but also, like, it takes getting used to for some people. I mean, I kind of got over it because the first few minutes were, like, colors. But, I don't know. It's really good. Highly recommended. Yeah. Besides Mob Psycho, though, like, when it comes to, like, strange anime, like, Kill la Kill is very strange in concept. Like, in the grand scheme of weird animes, it's kind of up there. I mean, clothing, man. The war on clothing. Just, I don't know. But, like, I watched that one, like, that was the first anime that I showed the boy, which is how I ended up getting him into watching JoJo's, because it's like, I talked about it a bunch. Actually, I don't know if that was in reverse order, but either way, one of those weird shows led to the other weird show. And so, like, you never realize how strange some things happen in a show are until you're watching them with someone else. And it's just like, because, like, before I first watched Kill la Kill, which I watched in a day, mind you, like, I'd been exposed to, like, this happens in anime, and so it's like, yeah, this is kind of weird, and that whole thing with Ragyo is a bit concerning, but yeah, no, that makes sense. But, like, watching it with him, there's always the brief thing that goes through my head of, you know, this scene is a lot weirder than I remember. Although, I think that's especially true, though, considering that, like, I don't know. It's also weird because he does this thing where he is incredibly perceptive of basic plot elements, which I am not. I tend to turn off that part of my brain and what I learned in animation when watching anime. But he can tell when most things will happen, and at this point, I don't know if he's messing with me just to get the reaction, or if he really knows all of these things, because it's genuinely impressive. Honestly, I just never change, sweetie. I don't know. What else do I watch? Because, like, there was a brief stint where I binge watch a lot of shows. I binge watched Death Parade. That's the other anime I finished in a day, and it made me cry. Like, no, I didn't finish it in a day. I started at, like, frickin' 9 o'clock at night, 9, 10 at night. I watched it until, like, frickin' 3, 4 in the morning. And, like, so at 4 in the morning, I was just sitting in my chair in my room, just crying, because it's like, why? Watch Death Parade. Watch Death Note. Death Note and Death Parade. I mentioned Death Note because there was a cameo of Light in Death Parade, which is amazing. But watch Death Note. Don't watch the movie, the live-action movie. It's garbage, like, on all fronts. But, no, watch the Death Note anime. Most people have watched it, but watch it. Watch it again. Watch it 5 times. I've watched it 8 times. But God. Like, I've also watched fucking Saga of Tanya the Evil is another anime I've watched, and I love it deeply. You should know because I did a drawing of her recently. Go check that out. I know how to be a YouTuber. No. But yeah, no, that is one of those shows where, like, trying to explain it to people, like, it will make them say, what? Because it's literally a show where this businessman gets sent into another timeline in frickin' World War I Germany, and is put into a little girl's body and is made to fight in that war because he didn't believe in God? It's wonderful. Honestly, like, I still have not finished those last couple episodes, and I am upset with myself, but I fucking love that show. It's so... Like, apparently, like, that's how I learned what the definition of an isekai was, which is basically, protagonist gets shoved into some other place, thing. Normally it's video games. That time it was World War era little girls. But, you know. I especially like it because it's not one of those shows that does that weird trope with fucking lollies. Like, look, I can accept that for some reason this 5,000-year-old girl looks like she's 8. Fine. I'll accept that. Stop making weird shots with her, though. She looks like she's 8. Come on, man. What are you doing? People who make things are weird. That is what anime has also taught me. But, you know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anime's wild, but you should still watch it. Constantly watch anime. Although I will say, you're getting to the point where I am basically out of time. I think. I don't know. It depends on how I'm editing this video. Yeah, I know. So, since we're basically out of time, I'm going to wrap it up here. I literally talked about Terraria for 2 minutes and then we went on these tangents, but it's fine. Most people probably don't listen to the audio anyway. But yeah, no. I hope you enjoyed this rambling mess about card games and animes that you should watch, definitely. Seriously, watch Death Note 8 times. I promise you will enjoy it every time. But, yeah, no. So, I'm gonna end this here. I'm going to wrap up. I hope you enjoyed. Links to all my stuff is in the description if you want to download or look at things that I have drawn. If you want to just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what people do. I just exist. So, yeah, no. Links and stuff below. Do the YouTube things if you want. I don't care. Yeah. Check out my last video if you want to. It's a lot... The subject matter is a lot more serious, but I don't know. Minus the weird audio things that happened and the fact that I breathe a lot. There's some good stuff in there. Sparks conversation, I like to think. Even if you don't agree with it. Which, it's always good to talk about things. But yeah, no. That's it. I am done. And I hope you have a nice day.